2144. Good luck. So we've not played before. We have no head-to-head score. So how do we want to play this one? Is he going for a London setup? It looks like it. Okay, I'll bring my bishop as well, but probably c6. Okay, just gives us the option of queen up should our opponent do the same thing. Okay, so challenge that. Comes forward. Yeah, I'll just play a bishop up, see if he comes in. He drops back, so I will castle. Now we've got a choice. I think I'd better take. Give my bishop an emergency square. Now, do I try and gamble here? A little bit risky this, a bit risky. I don't play that much 5-minute blitz. It's something I need to play more of really. It's normally 3-minute. So we need to play more 5-minute. So here he comes down. I've got knight up. Let's play knight up first actually, just to be a little bit more cautious. Okay. It's got to be right, I think, to take instead of closing it down. So I've got rook across. Do we take first and then knight up? This is then loose. So rook over, knight takes, take, takes, take. I'm going to gambit a pawn here. I think let him take here. I'm just going to try and... Oh, he's gone with a pawn. I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to go with a rook and try and take this pawn. He will go forward, hit the queen. He's got to just guard this pawn. So he's come forward. So I can check now, right? What's wrong with just throwing a check in, hit the pawn, hit the other pawn? So now I can take, he'll have to take. I can still grab a pawn. I could take immediately. Take here. Knight takes, bishop takes. So he's got bishop up. Rook takes. I think I'll just take and trade everything and grab a pawn, I think. It might be a second pawn as well. It could be a second pawn. He's only got one move there. What's he thinking for? But he can't block here, so we should get another pawn. So let's take it and try and get the other rook up, something like that if we can. Just be careful not to blunder our back ring. Now he can't castle here because he's already moved his king. So rook up is a threat to put pressure on. Yeah, this is the monthly Super Blitz Arena, so it's only what is it? It's like a what is it? I forget what it is. It's like 4 hours long or something. Yeah, 4-hour arena. There's no way I'm playing that, so I'll just play a few games so I've taken part. But he's just resigned. He's just had enough of that one. It was just a simple mistake. That's all. It happens. We all do that. Unlucky. 2093. Good luck. So we've not played before. No head-to-head score. Now let's play a traditional reti. That's this setup. Against e6, you normally do g3 and c6, b3. He takes, so you want to throw a check in generally and take back. There are other moves possible, but that's what you generally do. Now, knight up here, I think, is the correct move. We could just take. Knight up, he's just got the natural knight up, though. Yeah, actually, no, I'll just take and bishop up. Okay, so bishop up. Oh, he's launched one, okay. So is queen up a move here, then? Because he doesn't have bishop here. So is queen up a serious move? You can't move your knight because you're pinned if I go here. You can't move your bishop either, so you've got to move your rook, right? So let's go forward. Okay. So knight up again is a move. He has got this natural reply though. So I think I should just castle. Okay, so he's developed his bishop. So I think I should drop back now, but where to? Let's come all the way back so we can still play our knight forward if we need to. So he plays knight up. So I'm going to try and stop this pawn push to give my knight a square. If I go d4, it gives our opponent a chance to really challenge the centre, doesn't it? So, pros and cons. d3 and e4 might be better, but then it's a backward pawn, but it might be better. Let's try and figure it out. Well, that kind of makes our mind up for us, doesn't it? Very bold. So e4 got to be a move. It's whether we want to try and trade this bishop off. I'm just going to play e4 straight away, I think, and try and get my bishop into the game. So he plays knight forward. So bishop up. If he takes, we take back. Does that give us a problem? Possibly. Yeah, I think we just take here. I don't think we can play f4. Check would be annoying. I was going to develop my bishop and hit the pawn. I mean, he could even just push it straight on here. Let's just see how he chooses to play this. He's playing it crazy fast. It is a 5-minute one, not a 3-minute blitz, this one. He has indeed gone across. F4 is still a bit bold, isn't it? Let's just bring the rook right across to the centre. So down now I'll take. Yeah, F4 just feels a little bit too weakening with the bishop still being on the diagonal, and this other bishop could get on the other diagonal. But feels a bit much. I'm going to say I could have gone there to pin the knight, so he's come forward. So he hits our bishop. That's an annoying move. That is a bit irritating, isn't it? I'm going to play queen across. Hit the knight, guard the bishop, but if takes, can we go with the pawn here? I think I'm going to. Just because of how dangerous these two bishops are, I'm going to try and cram the centre and free a path for the rook. It might not be good, but it's done. It is done, so he comes forward. Again, pressuring here, so up takes, takes. I think I kind of forced into this. So where's his bishop going to end up here? He's done well, and he's got a very decent position here. I'm probably going to push up to try and restrict this bishop, but this could be a nice move. Yeah, actually no, I like this one more. Just take back, I guess. I assume he'll take the light squared bishop. Wait, what's he done that for? Take. Yeah, he's just blundered. Only just a one move blunder. Unlucky, we all do them. Yeah, 2105. Good luck. Let's play the normal carol for this. You can pretty much pre-move d5, but I won't. It's still actually the book move there, but I'm going to go an early g6. But d5 is still the correct book move. But we've castled, so now we can worry about what to do. I think I will still play d5. And let's get our bishop up. Okay, he's not using any thinking time. Let's trade. Let's trade here as well. Okay, what do we want to do? I was going to get the queen up. I know it might allow bishop down at some point, but trying to get the rook into the centre. Queen here, and there's this annoying knight. So I'll just bring my rook across. Knight comes down. So do we actually challenge that? What you're going to do? Bishop down. We could still go here. So I'm going to gamble and challenge that. Just opens things right up, doesn't it? Really opens things right up. Now there is a problem with the pawn. So we might as well chuck it forward then, although it weakens this square again. Yeah, I'm just going to move the queen out of the way. Knight, and I'll probably take. I'd rather play the pawn up and leave this one here. That's why I moved the queen, but if I push this one up, it just weakens this square. The knight can jump straight back. Might go crazy forward, might do, but let's just try and solidify this for the moment. And of course I've blundered as soon as I've done that. I realised as soon as I made the move, and then I've just blundered this as well. I'll just play some quick moves here. This game's already over. I mean, we target a pawn, but it's not realistic, I don't think. This game should be over now. It should be over. Say you go back, take, something like that. Barring calamitous blunders, it should be lost this one. So let's take. I don't think it'll take here, but could. Probably take here. And we need to find a square for the queen. Maybe just shuffle. Yeah, two connected passed pawns. Obviously going to be too much to deal with. So just shuffle there. Oh, and an exchange, so not good, is it? Not good. There's rook up and move here. He can obviously just come straight down, so I don't think it is. Just come back, hit the queen. I'm trying to find a way to get my queen moved and not have to trade it with a back rank issue. Yeah, queen down, logical. No point taking it. I know he can do this, so I'll have to trade and block with a bishop or something. There's nothing else I could try. Opponent is a little bit too strong for us, this one. A little bit too strong. Okay, pawn comes forward. Let's just move the queen up. There's no threat to the rook. It's obviously guarded. I'm just trying to find a square to get a little bit further forward. I don't actually see anything good. Queen across and rook down is obviously a bit of a serious problem. Let's chuck a pawn then. Okay, logical. We can't do that. We can't do that. I think I'm going to have to do that. Or I can't really afford to trade pieces, but white's just far too solid here. Far too solid. Let's just move the queen just to get moved somewhere. But how do I get my piece into play? The bishop is just stuck, isn't it? So okay, just drop back there. Yeah, I need the bishop into play, but then my back rank just is already gone, isn't it? Yeah, there's no point playing this one. Somebody we can't compete with. Case 1723, good luck. So we've not played before, no head-to-head score. Opponent 220, a 14 game, relatively new account, but enough to establish a level. That's the traditional Reti setup. Again, c6 you normally do b3 and then g3 just as a general guide, just to make sure you can take back with your pawn. And you've got to watch out for this sort of concept. So we'll put this bishop up first. You'll often see lots of my games with this sort of setup. Okay, opponent doesn't need much in the way of thinking time, it looks like. Let's go d4 and fully charge the center. Yeah, they don't need any thinking time, do they? No, that's a bit unusual for a 5-minute game. Let's hope it's all good. We'll check it carefully after the event. Let's play knight up. I'm going to take that and see how you take back. Does go that far. I didn't think it would. So knight up's the move, but doesn't really achieve a great deal. So do I go here then? I'm going to actually go here just to prepare this concept, even though it's not a move right now. It could be further down the line. Although actually I might have blundered. I might have done. There is a slight possibility that I have blundered the game away here, but yeah. Looks a bit odd when your opponent plays this quick. And it's a new account, like I say, so there might be nothing I can do to realistically compete here. Let's drop back. I'm hoping I can drop the knight back here, so let's do that. Very natural square for the knight. Oh, he's happy to trade there. Okay, that should be okay for us. And still bring the knight forward. Try and just prepare to get forward at some point. Just rook across is probably very good there. Doesn't do it. So queen up, you've still got rook over, so that's no good to us. I think queen right across there and preparing our rook across. Yeah, doing very well, my opponent here. Doing very well. But we've both got a nice, sensible, playable position, and that's all you ask for. Knight up is not a move, but this knight across to come in might be. So here, down, up. That knight's dangerous. Let's march forward. I'm just trying to gain that tiny little bit more space. And at some point we'll have to trade some pieces off to try and simplify a little bit. Okay, so queen over trade is probably good for us. Probably. That's what they've done. So take, take, and then maybe pawn up, but it could get clogged down. Or maybe this one to go in a dark square. Let's take. I'm actually going to play f3 to stop this and try and free my bishop up somewhere. But do I put this on a dark square while we have a chance? So here, down, it gives us this, doesn't it? But here, takes, takes, knight in, knight across, bishop here and down. But I think one knight can guard the other. So I think we need to do this. Knight in, and I've got knight across. One knight can guard the other potentially. So knight up here to hit the pawn, and then try and get the bishop up to attack the pawn as well. You do have this knight to try and use, so we go with this one. The idea is bishop back. Should have been trying to get the knight across there. We need two moves, so he's gone back with that one. Probably good enough. Probably good enough. It's extremely difficult to try and find any way to make progress here, isn't it? Very, very difficult. So let's just move ourselves up. But of course, you can just bring your knight back and I'll have to drop back to guard. King comes up. I think I still step over here. The opponent's played this incredibly well. I'll go with the knight and just drop back and try and guard again. Yeah, at least I've got my king kind of over now. Knight in, not much I can do other than drop back. I mean, we could trade the pawns, I guess, but it should be a draw this at best, I would think, at best. Barring blunders. Now, maybe I can do this. Let's come here for now. I want to do this and this, but it releases the bishop potentially. But at least it's on a dark square, and that's on a light square, so it's a target. But if you just sit and hold, there might not be any way to make any progress. I mean, we can try and take some risks, but they are big risks. Okay, goes back. So again, we don't have an option to take. So looking at check here, and then we do double attack the pawn, but this is loose as well. So I have to drop back to guard this and knight back to guard this. But knight in now, we could trade the two outer pawns off, and that's probably my best bet. Knight takes with a check, bishop takes, knight takes, and it's a bishop v knight. King goes back. Okay, I'm going to take a risk now and try and develop the bishop. At least all my pawns are on dark squares. Oh, but how the heck do we make any progress? Here you just leave your king there and guard, don't you? So, king steps across now. If I go up here, do you come in and gamble? Probably. Take, 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 but you've got the outer pawn. Then we've got a center pawn. I'm going to gamble and do it and see if my opponent comes in. Gain a pawn, lose a pawn, gain a pawn. A pawn versus a pawn. Oh, knight comes up. So, take, take, king up now. Well, this should be better for us, because king up to stop this. And then we've got bishop back to hit this. But it's probably just a draw, isn't it? Yeah, there's not realistically anything we can do barring our opponent blundering badly here. We're getting too ambitious. Let's go here. Yeah, it's just a draw at best. It should be a draw at best anyway. Just keep shuffling and there's no way for me to break through. So take, it's nothing. Do I plant the bishop? Oh, he's gone forward and risked it. Wow. Okay. I'm going to try and keep pressure on here and run my king back around this way. Because this king cannot go through here because of my bishop. But I can come this side. And your bishop has to guard this because it's on the light square. So he's given us a potential target. Move your king, I guess. Try and go here. Wait, so take. Up, no good. I'm going to gamble and take. It might be losing, but there's nothing else to do. I think I'm quicker here. Oh, he's blundered. I can't believe that. He's just made one sloppy blunder and it's over. One careless blunder. He's so unlucky. He'd be kicking himself. He had a really tremendous game there. So unlucky, my opponent there. He should have had a draw, if not a win there. Really, really unlucky. Played 4 games in this monthly Blitz arena, so let's take a quick look at them now. So 22 moves in this first one. The move times for both players. Let's request an analysis. See, we'll level out of the opening. Then it turns somewhere around here. Let's just see. Okay, so we'll level round about move 10, then we just gained a gradual advantage. Yeah, should have taken there instead of knight across, so our moves are all fine here. Yeah, I should have thrown the queen check in first instead of rook across. So we're still just marginally better. Queen in is a blunder, allowing us to check though. Now here I've missed the move e5 and you can't actually take. That's nasty, isn't it? You can't actually take because you hang mate. You can't go back here, the knight covers, so you have to drop back here. And presumably the move like knight takes, we hit the rook and we hit the queen. So a little bit sharper. If I see e5, it just wins on the spot. But as it turned out, we were able to just trade off, get another pawn, bring the other rook up, and opponent has just resigned to get on with the next game, so that's fair enough. So now we'll look at the second one. That one was also a relatively short game, 22 moves, so let's request an analysis. And again, another one, basically level here. We've gotten slightly worse out of the opening than just a one move mistake. So 96 versus 78%, but it would have been basically the same but for a one move mistake. Yeah, so we are white for this game, so it's the right way around. So you'll see this sort of position in lots and lots of my games because I play this ready opening all the time. So here I should have dropped the bishop back to c1 instead of queen across to attack the knight and allow the knight to trade. Taking in over to the center was fine. Pushing in the center was fine. And then here we just get this blunder where our opponent obviously can take here and it's still completely level. They've seen the tactic, bishop takes, pawn takes and rook takes, but just forgot that the other bishop can be taken first. Just a one move mistake, that's all that one was. So unlucky, like I say, but for that mix up of moves, the figures would have been the same for both of us there pretty much. So move on to the third one. So that one was 32 moves. They're the move times for both players there. A little bit unusually quick from our opponent there for the time control. Unusually quick and rather well, wasn't it? 98% versus 91% and not one mistake in the game. Just one of them games, you know, I just realistically couldn't compete in. And of course, we made the inevitable mistake. So I should have played the queen right across here and not worried about this. But that was just a straight losing blunder, of course. Lost the exchange there. Made a few more moves just to see if it's possible to play on, but there wasn't realistically anything that we could do. So we just decided to move on. So we just got on with another game. And then the final one that I've played, this one, we have 84 moves in this. These are the move tiles for both players there. The opponent put in a really, really good effort in this one. Very, very unlucky at the end. But as it turned out, we did play the end game towards the very end pretty well, about as well as we could have done. But opponent was really unlucky not to get at least a draw in this game. So you see, we're level here. We've been better here. There's a blunder here somewhere, and we blundered it straight back. So we'll take a look at that. Where's that move? 39. Some little bits actually worse in the opening. So we blundered badly in the opening, actually. So what's that? So I played 93 versus 87 on the accuracy, but we messed up a bit in the opening. Then opponent would have blundered by not punishing it, I'm guessing. So we'll just take a quick flick through until we see these red blunders. Yeah, rook to c1 was the blunder. I should have played queen to d3 and it's still completely level. Rook to c1 is a blunder. And the correct move was knight forward. And it's plus 2.5 for black. So knight to e4, knight takes, rook takes c1. Let's take a look at the line. Bishop takes, knight forward. That's if you see all of this, of course. And it was much better for black. So black has blundered just by not punishing our blunder. So we're back to level here. Then there's a slight blip up here. There's another tiny little blip coming up here. But yeah, I should have taken with the bishop and not the knight, apparently. I was trying to obviously just bring the knight more centralized. And then from this point on, we're basically level or better for the rest of the game. But there's another blip coming up about move 40. So we've got a lot of moves to get to there. So we'll just flick through it. With some very good play by our opponent here, keeping really in the game, keeping the pressure on. And you're just playing on trying to find a mistake somewhere. Now here, knight to d7 was a blunder. And we've blundered by not punishing it with bishop up. So bishop to h3 is the move. So if knight takes, we can take the bishop. We'd have to take the bishop. That's going to be a better endgame for us according to the engine without playing through all the line, because the correct move is actually g6. Oh, then we should trade off because we grab the pawn. Knight comes back, bishop back, push the pawn, takes, and then we've deflected the king. So in this position it's +5 for us, and yet we've just got king up, king across. Our opponent must run out of moves first, because this is apparently winning for us. Okay, but that's very difficult to see at our level, isn't it? Very, very difficult to see all that. Then we level for a good few more moves to come. And then there's a fatal mistake coming up, which you can see down here. I was just trying to maneuver just to see if there was any way we could break through. Running to this side. So a few more moves to go. This was all okay, and this is the losing blunder. King back, king f5, and it's still level. And this is just a losing blunder now, so yeah, even if you take here, king takes, king up, king up. This is the correct line. But we're just going to queen much quicker, so it's just completely winning for us. So in this position, it's then just winning by force from this. It was just a case of converting without messing up there, but you can see from watching the game back, our opponent was really, really unlucky this game. Probably deserved a draw. Probably deserved a draw there, didn't I? I did mess up a little bit in the opening. But really, really careful there. So really well done.